Alright, so we have now finished our talk with Rex, and in theory, Captain Kirahim may now be ready to take us on our way, because he was waiting for us to resolve that conflict with Rex, given how he was making a bit of a fuss over here. But actually, did we try talking to him afterward?
If we're doing this, then let's go.
I mean, you're not wrong, Rex. You're not wrong. So, why don't we? Is there anyone else we want to talk with here? I think for the most part.
Responds to reason. How strange.
For the most part, I think we've already double-checked with people and bought and sold things with Rentola over here. So, maybe just worth a quick double-check here to see how much stuff we have in our inventory right now, because I do think that after we are done with, or after we are done in this base area and then start actually heading out into Saren's fortress, then it could be quite a while until we are next able to sell things, and I think there's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of loot in the meantime. So this is a good time to be double-checking as to whether we actually need to offload anything. Maybe just worth
again,
a quick double-check here.
I
know
I suggest you take them now.
we've definitely spoken to Rentola a fair bit already. But let's be extra safe here when it comes to selling stuff. And make sure that, if we're just going to the bottom of our list and finding things we have a bazillion copies of, like, do we need however many number of Inferno rounds we have right here? Definitely not. I know we're at, I mean, I suppose we're at maximum monies, in which case, perhaps it would be preferable to actually omnigel this stuff. Because, yeah, like, there's no way we're gonna ever need this many copies of the Inferno rounds. So let's dump those. And sledgehammer rounds, those are useful. Maybe not quite that many, but I don't know. Snowblind rounds, I think that's one that I personally do not really expect to use much, if at all. So let's omnigel some of those, and I mean, I don't recall the exact... Oh, we definitely have higher level sledgehammer rounds, as we were just seeing. But, same with Snowblind. We were theorizing before, I don't remember exactly how many, or what the maximum number of omnigel is. But we're approaching 1,000 here, and that might be the limit. Polonium... has toxic damage and prevents enemy regeneration. Is actually kind of helpful in situations in which, obviously, you're expecting to run into enemies that have regeneration. However, sledgehammer rounds also do that, so we might want to just hold on to a couple of polonium rounds, but otherwise, sledgehammer rounds can perhaps serve that same purpose. And then Proton, this is the shield bypassing one. Yeah. It's, oh, I meant to... numerous of these, I think. Then Shredder, I mean, yeah, still want to hold on to a fair number of Shredder and Tungsten, I think. We do seem to have a lot more Tungsten, but it might just be that we've equipped more Shredder than we have Tungsten. Yeah, then start getting down to level 6, and I think just about anything ammo-wise is safe to get rid of here. Even Hammerhead down at 3, because we've now gotten Sledgehammer rounds to replace those. And basic, yeah, they're bad at this point, for sure. Anti-personnel, very weak comparatively. Same with Hammerhead. Radioactive, we have? Don't remember what the new cooldown reduction to ammo is. I think get rid of this, but not sure if we have a higher level equivalent to this. Maybe we hold on to it. Obviously, it's level 2, so it doesn't look good. But okay, we've at least skimmed off, seem to be, I don't know, 20 or so, maybe more, of our extra ammo types. And probably don't need as many combat optics. That's another one that we can probably dump several rounds of. So let's mark some of those. Maybe it's giving us like a little bit of accuracy, yes, but for the most part, I think that is less needed or less preferable than some of the other things. Okay. And kinetic stabilizer, for example, that's the one that we just had a bazillion copies of, and we were saying now we really would like something other than just weapon stability for our upgrades, and at level 6. Have to imagine we've better things than that, even if at times we've been very much just begging for new upgrades for our weapons, but level 2 combat sensor, that's definitely no good. Might hold on to high caliber barrel just because if we are absolutely desperate for pure damage, then that is another way to get it. In case we find ourselves needing to resort to things like weapon stability. We do have some scram rails, but don't have a ton of them at the moment. Okay, so that's much better. Then I think maybe we just look at oh wait, okay, we do now see. So 999 Omnigel does appear to be the maximum. So yeah, at this point we're basically just scrapping things for the sake of scrapping things, which I think is not necessarily a bad idea. We can pull the ablative coatings and energize weaves. Actually, do we have... Or in the case of energized weave, if we have a higher level version... Well, we have level 7 at the very least, so we can definitely get rid of level 6. So, well, I mean, ideally what would happen is that we do, after finishing Vermeer, I believe, get access to the level 10 Spectre gear. And once we do get access to that, of course, we're going to want to buy it. And of course, it's going to be very expensive. So that's when suddenly we will definitely not be at maximum monies at that point. And then we'd like to sell a whole bunch of stuff that we have stockpiled here to, well, hopefully buy, ideally, several rounds of the level 10 Spectre gear. But, it does... We're not entirely sure as to exactly how much additional inventory space we're going to need, given how much stuff we may pick up in the meantime. But I mean, then again, like if our goal is to sell items to, once we start getting access to level 10 Spectre gear, in order to make it easier for us to buy all that stuff, then presumably, you know, level 5 gear, as we have seen in the past, should be much less valuable than the level 9 or ideally even 10 gear that we start picking up on the rest of our mission here. You know, it should be potentially several orders of magnitude less value-wise. So, we just dump all this. And that may be enough there, because I think we, at this point, should have a lot of space remaining. Should not be an issue for quite some time at this stage, I would think. Okay, so, with that being said, let's save here, after having done that real quick. And then, let's talk to Captain Kirhi, because I believe that's the only thing we have left to do here. So we found the Solarian camp and spoke with their leader, Captain Kirhi. Told you that Saren has cured the Krogan genophage and is breeding an army of Krogan warriors. He and his men are working on a plan to infiltrate the base and prepare our team for the assault on Saren's base. When we're ready, talk to Captain Kirhi. So, we've done our buying and selling, and we've obviously, well, spoken to our team, including Rex. So I think we are now ready to go.
Thank you for speaking with the Krogan. The assault on Saren's base will be difficult enough as it is.
Assault?
I assume that means you've come up with a plan.
Of sorts.
Hope so.
We can convert our ship's drive system into a 20-kiloton ordnance. Crude, but effective.
Oh.
Nice. Drop that nuke from orbit, and Saren can kiss his Turian ass goodbye.
Unfortunately, the facility is too well fortified for that. We'll need to place the bomb at a precise location.
That sounds potentially difficult. Where exactly are we talking?
Where do we take the nuke? And how do we get there?
The bomb must be taken to the far side of the facility. Your ship can drop it off, but we'll need to infiltrate the base, disable the AA guns, and pacify any ground forces first.
You want us to go in on foot? We don't have enough men.
So just to clarify here, he's saying that we would convert basically part of the engine, the drive core, from their ship, and use that as an explosive device to destroy the base, a very powerful explosive device at that. However, the base is well fortified enough that you can't just simply drop it in there and head on your way. It needs to actually be physically placed there, or manually placed there, I suppose. And so that does require breaking in through the base. And as Caden is suggesting, that doesn't sound like that's terribly easy. We, of course, have learned that Saren is trying to build an army of... Well, he already has a bunch of Geth and is now, apparently, breeding a whole bunch of Krogan, has a fortress, and so all those things add together to, I would think, not exactly the easiest thing to break through.
It does sound a bit risky. Is there no other way?
No, but I think we can work around that. I'm going to divide my men into 3 teams and hit the front of the facility. While we've got their attention, you can sneak your shadow team in the back.
That sounds... So basically, you're saying you're going to take all the heat, distract them while we sneak in? That sounds like you're drawing the short stick yourself, and that's strange. You're sort of volunteering to do what would seem to be, in many ways, the most dangerous stuff.
It's a good idea, but your people are gonna get slaughtered.
We're tougher than we look, Commander. But it's true. I don't expect many of us will make it out alive. And that makes what I'm going to ask even more difficult. I need one of your men to accompany me, to help coordinate the teams.
Ooh. Okay. I suppose... If we're working together like that, it is probably necessary.
We'll need
You're right.
someone who knows Alliance communication protocols.
I volunteer, Commander.
Not so fast, LT. Commander Shepard will need you to arm the nuke. I'll go with the Solarians.
With all due respect, Gunnery Chief, it's not your place to decide.
Why is it that whenever someone says, with all due respect, they really mean kiss my ass?
Okay. Well, let's see if Captain Kirky has any preferences here.
Who would be better suited to the mission?
Either of these 2 will do, Commander. Both seem willing to sacrifice their lives if necessary, though if we are lucky, such sacrifices won't be required.
Okay. And so we do legitimately need to give either Caden or Ashley to Captain Kirky here to help his team with sort of their frontal assault on the base. And so it is up to you, of course, as to who you choose to take, and as you can probably guess, or at least suspect, and I'll confirm for you, it does in fact mean that you will not have access to using this squad member for the rest of this mission. So, for that reason, I think we need to be, of course, ready to part ways with them, but at least theoretically, we're talking about someone who is sort of going on the front lines with his team, and then the person who gets left behind is more so the person who is helping to arm the explosive. And so, seeing as how Ashley is a soldier, that's kind of her thing, going out on the front line, whereas Caden would presumably be... I mean, he does have some tech capabilities, so one would think he'd be a little bit more of a natural fit for arming the explosive, although technically you can go either way. But I say we have them take Ashley.
Williams, you'll accompany the captain. No heroics, understood?
Aye, aye, Commander.
I will have the ordnance loaded onto the Normandy and brief your crew on its detonation sequencing. Do you have any questions before we go, Commander?
Okay, well, let's see what else we can figure out. So, what exactly is your exit plan? Yeah, because... what's our exit plan as well, I suppose? So, you're distracting them at the front of the base while we sneak around the back. You'll take Ashley. We'll take whoever else from our crew. So, how exactly are you getting out of there? Because you are presumably seriously outnumbered.
The Normandy's picking me up. How will your teams escape the blast?
Also,
we
the
will
explosion.
engage the Geth as long as possible. Once the bomb is in place, we will fall back to try and escape the blast radius. If we move quickly, we should be able to escape with acceptable casualties. If not, then our memories will live on as martyrs to a greater cause.
That does sound dangerous.
You talk like this is a suicide mission.
I won't lie to you, Commander. There is a chance none of us will survive this
Something.
assault,
Mass
even
Effect 2
your
mission.
team. But we do what is necessary.
Okay. Well, I mean, Commander Shepard's right. I mean, it doesn't sound like the prospects are terribly good for at least the Solarian team, and it's nice to, at least on our side, be able to just hop on into the Normandy and be on our way. But, so you're saying you're breaking your team up into 3 groups to do the frontal assault, and then we're doing the shadow strike around the back?
Shadow seems clear enough. What will the other teams be called?
Igor, Manovai, and Jaeto. They were the initial settlements on our first 3 colony worlds. They are at the heart of Solarian territory to this day. These names will remind my men what they are fighting for. They must have a personal stake in the fight if we are to have any chance of success.
I suppose that's a good idea. Okay, then what about the actual explosive itself?
I want to know more about the bomb. How reliable is it going to be?
Its reliability depends on the person arming it, but it will do the job. The drive system is highly impervious to damage from external sources. Once it has been armed, very little can stop it.
Okay.
The key is getting it into place and armed before the Geth can stop us.
Okay. Suppose that makes sense. Alright, let's get a general recap, and then I think we'll be on our way.
Give me a quick rundown of the plan again.
You are Team Shadow. We will create a distraction while you infiltrate the base. Make your way to the breeding grounds at the heart of the facility. Disable the AA guns so the Normandy can land and deliver the nuke.
Okay.
If we get that far, we'll try to help you with guns, but don't count on it. Once you have the bomb, place it next to the geothermal taps. Then get out before it detonates.
Okay. I think that's a good summary of the plan. But certainly does still sound like this is going to be very difficult to pull off, but I suppose let's get to it.
I'm ready when you are, Captain.
Excellent. Then if you'll excuse me, I need to prepare my men.
Well, this is it. Don't do anything stupid while I'm gone, LT. You too, Commander.
We'll be fine. You'll see.
Yeah, good luck.
Does seem like something's on your mind there, Ashley.
Is there something you want to say, Chief?
I don't know, it's just weird, going under someone else's command. I've got used to working with you. All of you.
Don't worry. We'll see you on the other side.
I know, It's been an honor serving with you, Commander.
Hey, we're a team at the end of the day. You know, we'll get it
It doesn't
done.
matter if we're not in the same unit. We're still a team. Watch each other's backs, keep your eyes open, and fight like I know you can. We'll all come out of this in one piece.
You bet, Commander.
You all know the mission and what is at stake. I have come to trust each of you with my life, but I have also heard murmurs of discontent. I share your concerns. We are trained for espionage. We would be legends, but the records are sealed. Glorying in battle is not our way. Think of our heroes. The silent step who defeated a nation with a single shot. Or the ever-alert who kept armies at bay with hidden facts. These giants do not seem to give us solace here, but they are not all that we are. Before the network, there was the fleet. Before diplomacy, there were soldiers. Our influence stopped the Arachni, but before that, we held the line. Our influence stopped the Krogan, but before that, we held the line. Our influence will stop Saren. In the battle today, we will hold the line. Good luck, Commander. I hope we will meet again.
Hold the line. Oh, man. Okay. Well, as we were saying before, Ashley, at the moment, is unavailable to us because we, of course, sent her over with Captain Kiriki. Then, other than that, of course, we can pick a team here. And, let's see. As for who we'd like to have, I'm thinking probably going to want some kind of combination of both tech capabilities and biotic capabilities would be nice, in which case, I mean, even Caden might not be a bad idea, because he does, of course, come with both those things ready to go. And then, we do go with him, then that means, what do we want with our remaining person? I would think at least some combat ability. Of course, after having given up Ashley, that means that we are down our pure combat persons. That would leave us with either Rex or Garrus. It feels like it's been a really long time since we last used Garrus. Although, I think for the most part, we are going to be a little bit more working at close range here, in which case that tends to work a little bit better with Rex's skill set. So, we've been using Rex a lot lately, but of course, I'm a big fan of his, and he is quite effective in many different circumstances. So I think we stick with this here, Caden plus Rex, so lots of biotic capabilities, decent amount of tech between us and Caden, and hopefully Rex is providing enough punch from a combat standpoint that we are still doing okay from that aspect as well. Let's do it.
Com check. Do you read me, Commander?
Yup.
It's fine. Let's move.
Good. We'll start our push. We'll try to make it to the AA guns, but it might be up to you to finish the job. And Commander, if you see any way to undermine their defenses, we could definitely use the help.
Okay. So that is worth noting. Let's take a look at our journal here, just to verify what the official next steps are. So, Vermeer assisting Kirhi's team. Actually, this is an assignment, so technically a side mission. Kirhi and his men are attacking the base head-on in hopes of diverting the attention of the Geth. Though your primary mission is to infiltrate the base unseen, Kirhi has asked you to keep an eye out for ways to frustrate and slow the Geth defenses. So we need to search for ways to slow down the Geth. While we make our way through Saren's base, keep an eye out for opportunities to sabotage the Geth defenses. So that is important. It is, of course, its own side assignment, and so there are specific things we'll be looking for to do that. But we must, of course, primary thing being infiltrate Saren's base and destroy it completely. And Captain Kirhi will assist us by using a diversionary strike to draw off most of the Geth with a frontal assault, whereas we're sneaking around the back. So we need to go to the main base and try to find a way to slow down the Geth. Let's see, it's actually, I was talking about how we've been using Rex a lot recently, but Hayden is all leveled up, whereas Rex is not. And, so we can throw another point into Barrier, would give him 20 more points there. Or alternatively, give him 1% additional damage reduction in hardening. I might actually prefer that, just because, although obviously 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but that's up all the time, whereas Barrier is obviously only up when he's using Barrier, and since we've only spent 1 point on it, it's not exactly something that we've invested all that heavily in. Though theoretically, see, if we were to, say, get all the way to level 60, which I'm not even sure is going to happen, but let's say theoretically it does. Just where does that leave us? So 1 point here, then at level 56 we get one more, 57, 58, 59, 60. It would be just enough to get to Advanced Barrier. So maybe we try to go all-out Barrier from here on out, unless, what does it get us if we go all the way here? Master Shield Boost for a full shield restoration after 2 seconds. And it does, I imagine, reduce the recharge time, 45 seconds. Oh no, it stays the same, interestingly enough. So it just turns into 100% shield restoration over the course of 2 seconds rather than an 80% shield restoration over the course of 2 seconds. I don't know. Whereas the difference between, hold on, the basic barrier and the advanced barrier, the cooldown time does get faster. The duration does get actually quite a bit longer. And obviously the power itself also gets significantly stronger. I think it might be worth going barrier in that case. Let's go for it. Then, yeah, we're all set. Caden's all set. Let's take a quick look at our equipment here. Just make sure that everybody is geared up properly. Rex, I think you're looking fine here. Not that you really need a sniper rifle. So yeah, this group is not the best when it comes to long-range combat, but we're hoping that that's not too much of an issue and that we're more focused toward the short-range stuff. Oh, actually, your shotgun, Rex, we could potentially upgrade here. It's just a level 8 shotgun. Wow. Ooh, I mean, that's definitely not much of an upgrade here. Slightly more accuracy, but significantly worse damage. The question, I think, is mostly, do you throw in an Armageddon? I feel like we've been asking ourselves this question a lot, but the 2 heatsink is just, that's really hard to justify, I think, especially if we're going with high explosive rounds, which, not necessarily sure we want to do that, but if we are going to do that, then we should at least go from level 8 up to level 9, which gives us a little bit more damage and 10 centimeters more blast radius. Can't say that that's going to be all that noticeable, at least I don't think it's going to be. Okay. And just out of curiosity, Rex is using the level 7 Spectre assault rifle still, which is good, of course, but it is level 7, so I was wondering if maybe a level 10 piece of gear here might be preferable, but I think let's stick with it. Take a look at our map, though. And so what we have here is a communications tower over a bit to the right. Then we have a satellite uplink tower. Got a refueling platform as we get further down, and whatever else over here. And then we get to a research facility and facility entrance. Facility entrance. So presumably that's our way in. So, let's get ready here. Because in theory we'd like to remain unnoticed, but
Shadow is on the ground.
not
Shadow
sure
is on the ground.
if that's gonna work out.
Time to get some attention.
As you can already see here, ow, we just got immediately sniped, and I was kind of curious to see how much damage the snipers can deal to us, because, especially at higher difficulties, the damage from snipers is quite significant. Okay, let's see if we could do something, get you out of there. I really didn't get lifted. There we go. These guys rushing us a little bit. A little bit. The other thing here is that we were making a little bit of an effort to do this previously, but I would like to try to make a point of using more of the abilities that we've not really used much of, and because they do in many cases have achievements for them.
Coordinated crossfire. Check for long-range turrets helping against target.
So there we can hear that Ashley is, of course, helping them out. And there may still be more up there, where it seems as though they have a bit of something set up. There is the sniper shot again. Did hit us, but again, we've confirmed we are theoretically capable of tanking it. Let's see, we have a sniper and a shock trooper, so I imagine it's got to be this sniper that's been causing the problems, of course. So what if we lift you out of there, or really anything, shut you down? And that shock trooper is shooting some missiles at us as well. Not like he's all that great for us either. So what if we say R2 warp you? I think that's one of the ones we haven't done much of as of like, oh, hello sniper that is right down here that I did not even realize was there. Okay, they're down. Shock trooper. I mean, neural shock I'm pretty sure does precisely nothing against synthetic enemies, but that's another one that I want to try to make an effort to use more of, because we haven't used Caden too often, and even when we have, not often that we've made a point of using neural shock. Okay, so this is a destroyer. Destroyer is certainly one of the bigger get, so I think it's definitely worth chasing you. Okay, and it does seem as though we're continuing to get a lot of metagels from fighting these guys, so that's a good sign. And watch out for these explosive containers. But, so, what we have here is some kind of marker in this location. Got a triangulation tower, but before we do that, let's maybe just make sure we picked up any loot there might be in this area. Now's our time. And here we go. All level 10. So this is the kind of thing that I want to see more of, is consistently getting level 10 gear. And we also got a little bit from just fighting those Geth as well. So again, we were asking ourselves, from an assault rifle standpoint, might we have something better for Rex? And still, oh, this potentially could be. The damage is a little bit better. Heat sink capacity definitely a little bit better as well. The accuracy does suffer somewhat significantly. Is that a trade-off that's worthwhile, though? You could potentially make the case, although, tell you what. Also, I was going to say, I thought that our upgrades here were quite out of date. And to a certain extent, they may be. At the very least, we can, instead of going weapon stability here, maybe go with their damage or heat damping. Just a matter of, do you prefer shooting more or shooting less but dealing more damage when you do shoot? And then high explosives on this as well. Is that really the answer? Did we really put high explosives on everything? Oh no, this is on... Oh, Shredder! No. Definitely not Shredder. We are fighting a bunch of Geth here. Tungsten is definitely preferable in that case. Speaking of which... Okay, we're on Tungsten. Yeah, that's good. And let's check for Aiden as well. Him. Also on Tungsten. Okay, that's looking good. Alright, anything else up here before we check out this triangulation tower? Or will that be all? There's this explosive container. But let's just not mess with that. Okay, Geth communications disrupted. Alright, gives us some Paragon points. And let's see. The Kyrgyz has been attacking the base, as we know. And we have disrupted communication. So we disrupted the Geth communication tower. Keep looking for opportunities to slow the Geth. So that's one step in the right direction. Looking for more opportunities to do things kind of like that, though. Is there anything under this? We're actually... He's a way through here. Music changes suddenly once we do. And, so we can go either through here or over to the left. Either way, it's going to eventually take us to this spot here. And then we're going to get a branching pathway that will eventually take us to the satellite uplink tower. I think for the most part, probably just looking to, I mean, more or less fight as many people as we can theoretically fight.
Got a shot. Chief Williams, take the heat off Malavai.
Alright, so we'll continue to get some updates here from Captain Kirhi, which I think is good to know. Got some friends. See, Rex, the thing is, like, you're kind of in the way. Kind of can't see them. Oh, I was not looking up. This guy's tanky. Wow. Okay. Sure. There's the other one. Also, a drone of some variety. Oh, that's down as well. Okay, that's, at least on our minimap, all we can see here. Just take a look here. I think this is where we would theoretically be doubling back. Just want to verify that we are not missing any potential enemies. Oh. Or loot. These simple Geth troopers, though, shouldn't be much of a problem. But that's... Oh, yeah. This guy's shooting rockets at us. At the wall, seemingly. Okay. You're down. That would be down this way, but I'm actually looking to just verify anything over here, but I think it's a tiny little area, and the answer to this question is probably no. And if we retreat this far, the music goes away suddenly, not nearly as tense. But now we're back in business, so looks like we can go either of these directions here. I think we might deliberately start going down both just to see if we can run into any more enemies. And, you know, pick as many fights as we can pick. But it may be that after poking our heads in a little bit in both directions, that we did get what enemies we can fight already. Okay. Especially since we seem to be rounding the corner now. And this may be where we would be reconvening had we gone the other way anyway.
We're calling SAT strikes. Jayeto, watch for comm stations. Williams, can you see anything?
Okay, more updates from Kirgi. Sounds like they're still holding up. Okay. Looks like there's some things over here. Let's take a look at our map. Yes, that's the satellite uplink tower. As we expected. And, I have to imagine there'll be some Geth here. There we go. Shock Trooper. And, well, the satellite uplink. Oh! Disrupted. Get a little bit of Paragon points. Get an update from Eternal. Ooh. Not get back in cover quickly enough there. Yeah, that is Shock Trooper. Okay, I was gonna say, for a second it looked like just a normal Geth. Please not put those shields up. Still be shooting here? There we go. Okay. Who are you shooting at? Oh, speaking of which, probably have Rex on his assault rifle. His shotgun is not going to be very effective from this range. We're talking about how we were maybe a little bit more of a close-range team. But, don't need to make it any more difficult than it already is here. Oh, What was that? Like an explosive container of some variety that somebody blew up? Okay, that's... Oh! A Krogan warrior. Okay, so we heard that, of course, they had some kind of, Krogan breeding setup here. Can we also just, like, real quick... Where are you? Maybe overload that? Oh, or is it sabotage? Sabotage that. Excuse me. I'm trying to get that to blow up on this guy, but apparently not. Also, if you could not regenerate all of your HP, that'd be great. I think you lift them, they do not regenerate. Now that goes off. And now you go down. So that's why you see, if you took a look at his HP, just how quickly it was coming back. That is one of the key reasons why getting some of the ammo types that prevent life regeneration can be so helpful. It's, well, Krogan in particular, they can regenerate a lot of HP very quickly. Okay, let's take a look at our map here. So this is the uplink tower. We have taken down the satellite. We also got a journal update from having done so. This is another thing that we can help Captain Kirky's team with. We've disrupted, or rather, let's see. Destroyed satellite uplink? Yeah, by destroying the satellite uplink, the Geth defenses have been thrown into disarray. Search for more ways to slow down the Geth. Okay? Sounds good, and in terms of our equipment here, some proton rounds. Okay? I just wanted to double check real quick as to whether there's anything back in the other direction that we did not choose to come from. So I'm thinking specifically up here. So we went the southern route instead. And I did like the angle of approach that we took. Because, like we were saying, don't have a great team when it comes to long-range weaponry. But when we approached from that angle, it did seem like, you know, by the time they were in our sights, they were rather close. So our lack of range should not become a huge problem. So I think let's carry on now. Doesn't look like there's anything else over here. In which case, we'll just head on through the satellite uplink area. And again, it was basically just a little satellite, I think it was just this up here, or something around there, where I just shot it once, and that's all you need to do. So it is quite simple, it's just you do need to look up to find it. Can be a little bit strange, a little bit frustrating at times. If you're running around here, you see the exclamation point is right on top of you, you're like, where is the thing that I'm supposed to interact with? The answer is that it is probably above you on the ceiling. But anyways, let's carry on here. And we're starting to see some red dots again.
Stations to recharge. Bunker up before they come back.
Okay. And if we look at our map here, we can go in a couple of, or actually 3 different directions. We can go straight ahead, we can go left, we can go right. And so this is another thing that I would say. This mission here, that we've been talking a little bit about, the assisting Captain Kirky's team. One where I think, more so than many other side missions, does have particular importance. So I would, even if you're speeding through the game a bit, I would make an effort to do everything you can here. In fact, so much so that ideally we need to save right now. Though it might be that we're close enough to this enemy that we are not currently allowed to do so. To say, yeah, this is an important part, I would say. Okay, yeah, let's save here. You'll see why. So, I think we're looking at our potential directions here. Let's go to the refueling platform next. It would be over in this direction. And we see a Geth Destroyer, which is definitely one of the stronger types of Geth. See, there are, in theory, some other enemies over in this direction as well, but we can't currently see them. Let's try to pull you out in some way here, if we can. Okay, you have been lifted. And now let's... I mean, if we can neural shock you, I'd love to, just to try to get that used a little bit more to get closer to the achievement. Same with Warp. Not that they're necessarily the right skills for the job right now. Okay, we're seeing some rockets here. Guessing it's going to be a rocket drone, rocket trooper in this case. See, this is the kind of range that I don't think we really want to be trying to engage from. And attacking you from down below, not really sure how effective this is going to be. We try, though. I suppose our friends are still on cooldown here. 60 from this angle, I don't think that works. Oh, this is the sound of the thunder. I think there were, or gunfire, but really sounded like that was a dramatic, like, heartbeat sound as if we were about to die. So it's like, oh man, did we just, like, take one of those hits that we're not supposed to take. Oh, we're able to sneak on through that little area there, shoot that rock trooper down.